Шановні колеги, ми
Esteemed colleagues, we continue our work. The ATO issues spokesperson from the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Colonel Lysenko. Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues. The information on the events that took place in the ATO zone and on the training of Ukrainian servicemen, Lugansk direction. Last 24 hours, the military actions were taking place in the eastern and west, the Stanично Lugansky district, and also Shastya with the outskirts, and Popasnyansky district. In the most cases, the occupants were using light weaponry. All the shellings were taking place after 6 p.m. In total, during the last 24 hours in Lugansk direction, there were 12 shellings by the enemy, 1 from heavy weaponry. In Donetsk direction, the enemy violated the ceasefire practically in all hotspots. First of all, it's in Troitsk, Lugansk, Zaitsev, and Avdiivka. The occupants are actively using 82 millimeter and 120 millimeter mortars and are shelling from them in the dark and light time of the day. In total, there were more than 90 mortar mines launched at our positions. Also in Avdiivka, the occupants got a tank and shelled in our direction. In Avdiivka yesterday it was not quiet. In the evening there were 2 powerful shellings. Each one of them lasted for more than 3 hours. In total, in the last 24 hours in Donetsk directions, there were 8 enemy shellings registered, 6 of them from heavy weaponry. Mariupolsky direction. Here the situation is not quiet all over the front line. The occupants en masse are applying heavy weaponry, mortars, tanks and guns. Also the enemy keeps armored equipment and snipers at the front line. Most intensive shellings yesterday were in Krasnogorivka and at the section of the front line Pavlopil-Shirokin. The number of the of the shells launched was more than 100. Ukrainian forces had to reply in response. In total, there were 32 enemy shellings in Mariupolsky direction, 17 from heavy weaponry. During the last 24 hours, not a single Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 5 servicemen were wounded. And also they confirmed military and non-military losses of the enemy during the last week. 16 were killed and 22 were wounded. These losses are in all the units of the enemy, 3 so-called regiments and 3 brigades, which are all over the front line.
Also, the enemies have serious problems with the non-combat losses. In particular, Oleg Zharikov, the commander of the engineering troops of so-called Second Corps, committed suicide. And also militant Grishin was occasionally killed by his so-called colleagues. From Russia, the additional ammunition and supplying materials arrived to Stakhanov, thus 2 wagons with shells and cartridges to hail installations arrived there. To Ilovaisk, the train with 12 units of machinery. To Kharkiv, 5 wagons with ammunition, 3 wagons with spare parts to the heavy weaponry and other and winter uniform. The law enforcers continue to expropriate the ammunition and weapons in the pre-front line. Yesterday in Mariupol, they expropriated TNTs and cartridges. In Mariupol, the special training exercise was held for the counteraction to terrorism, and this scenario was as follows. After unsuccessful negotiations, the storm of the building was successfully carried out. Servicemen from the GCCC provided assistance to Soledar, who found themselves in a big trouble in result of the disaster on the front on the pipeline. The potable water disappeared in the city, so our servicemen supplied 4 tons of the quality potable water, and separately water in bottles will be supplied to vulnerable groups of population. Since there are no further questions, the briefing is over. The next event will be at 1 p.m. sharp.